everyone. Welcome to our special edition of our video session. Today, we're going to be talking about the must-haves to be included in your pitch deck in celebration of our social innovation competition that's happening right now. We have some semi-finalists, some finalists, some amazing innovators in the impact space that have joined our call today. So please sit back and watch the talent kind of just pour out of the call today. I'm Shivani Chokshi. I'll be hosting the video session. I'm the CEO of Impactionable, based out in Chicago, Illinois, also working in the public education space. So I'm going to direct it over to the manager of our competitions, Bora. And Bora, if you can do a roll call for everyone else, that'd be great.
Yes, of course. Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Bora Lachi. I'm the project manager at Impactionable, based off in Dallas, Texas, and I'm in higher ed. So I know I've spoken to some of you, so welcome. So next, Sunny.
Hello, thank you for having me today. My name is Sunny Satva. I'm the founder of the Vegan Africa Fund, which is a US-based impact investment initiative into sustainable vegan ventures across Africa. We're launching our initiative with our impact cryptocurrency VAF, and we're really focused on profiting with impact. So I'm really excited to be here today, networking with all of you, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Shiva?
Hi, I'm Bhaskar, and I'm the co-founder of Vital Carbon. So we are a smart waste management company that are tackling the waste segregation at source using technological and design-based solutions.
Very cool. Sarthak?
So as Bhaskar pointed out, my name is Sarthak Mehta, and I'm also the co-founder of Vital Carbon. As Bhaskar pointed out, we are basically focusing on at-source waste segregation, and thereby reducing, I'd say, causalities down the chain. So basically to prevent landfill dumping and thereby greenhouse emissions. I'm also a master's student at the University of Groningen, Netherlands, and I'm doing my research master's here.
Very nice. Christian?
Hello, my name is Christian Mujage from Tanzania, East Africa. I'm the founder of EcoAct Tanzania, a social enterprise that transforms plastic garbage and packaging material to manufacture plastic timbers that are used for building, construction, as well as furniture making. While doing this, we also offer medical health insurance for poor family on exchange with their garbage. Thank you.
Thank you. Dimitri?
Hi, again, my name is Dmitry. I'm from Ukraine, Eastern Europe. I work on personal finance management applications that helps people to stop living from paycheck to paycheck.
Thank you. Maria?
Sorry, I have to turn my camera off because I'm getting my kid to sleep right now. So I'm listening to you.
No, you're totally fine. We totally understand. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Maria, and my startup is a digital health solution that helps pregnant women prevent maternal death.
Thank you. Saleh, if I said that correctly.
Hello, everyone. I'm Saleh. Sorry for not turning my camera on. I'm from Bangladesh, and I'm currently working on an urban farming project. And we are actually on the verge of redefining the urban farming foodscape, so that food landscape, so that we can redefine the conventional food supply chain. And our solution is sort of more traceable than the conventional food supply chain. Like in our platform, you can get to know from where your food is coming and who has been grown your foods and so on. Thank you all.
Thank you. And last but not least, Tuli, if I said that, correct me if I'm wrong.
You said, no, you said it perfectly. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm also not going to be able to turn on my camera. It's in the middle of the night. I'm Tuli. I'm the founder of an online platform called Premu. We are connecting beauty service providers with customers to offer services and brands to sell the products as well. So basically, we are creating job opportunities for the service providers to earn money on the platform and doing marketing on their behalf. Glad to be here.
Thank you. Happy to have everyone here. So I'm turning back to Shivani.
Thank you, everyone. Amazing talent here. So I'm going to start my presentation. And like I said, if you have any questions, please direct them in the chat. And we also will have a Q&A towards the end. So let me share my screen. All right, everyone. So today we're going to be talking about the must-haves in your pitch deck. These are the essentials you'll need in your pitch deck to essentially impress whoever your audience is and your investors. Just letting you know that this is Impactionable's interpretation of what you will need based off of the competitions that we've hosted ourselves and also what we've seen when working with our partners in the space. So the basic outline of the pitch deck essentially should be, including your challenge, solution, mission, your traction, market size, the competition you have in the space, who your team is, what your asks are, and what your closing should look like. We'll end today with some design tips and some additional helpful tips that can only, help your presentation. So the first part is the challenge. So this is essentially the most important part of your presentation. What challenge are you aiming to solve with your idea? The three questions that come to mind should be, number one, what is the challenge? Number two, why does the challenge exist? And number three, what would happen if we didn't solve the challenge today? So let's dissect each of these a little bit more. So when you're thinking about what the challenge is, really think about what's called the hair on fire challenge. So imagine your hair is physically on fire, and the one thing that you need to put it out is essentially a bucket of water. So that hair on fire, that sort of desperation that comes with the challenge, the emotional plea of desperation, knowing that this is a pervasive challenge that exists not only today, but may exist in the future as well. If it was not for your version of the solution, what kind of challenge is that? Number two, why does the challenge exist? So is there a story that you can talk about? Can you talk about any sort of emotional storytelling plea that could explain why the challenge exists in the first place? I think what we've really seen is emotions really do play a big part of when describing, what the challenge is and how big the challenge is. So that leads into the third point. What would happen if we didn't solve the challenge today, right now? So talking about the statistics, talking about the future as to how big the challenge is would only serve you well in this point. So next up comes a solution. What is your solution and why will it help solve the challenge? So the three big questions that come with the solution slide is, number one, what is your solution? Number two, how will it help solve the challenge? And number three, why is your solution best suited to solve the challenge? One thing to think, or two things to think about is, number one, your solution is not the solution, but it is a solution. It's an avenue to solve the challenge, and it's laden with your own interpretation, your own background experience, your skill set, your team's skill set. But please, especially in the social impact space, I see a lot of social entrepreneurs essentially, saying that it's their solution or the highway, and that's not something that you want to sell, especially when the social impact space usually deals with people, and the people are, it's more of an art than a science. So for example, when you're talking about your solution, you can say, let's say you're working in the environmental space. Our solution reduces carbon pollution by 36%. Notice the distinction between our and the. Number 2, include statistics. We're going to use the same exact example here. Our solution reduces carbon pollution by 36% because anywhere where you can add statistics or data or any quantifiable measurement is really important. And maybe during the Q&A sessions with judges or investors or whoever your audience is, they may ask you how your solution reduces carbon pollution by 36%, and you can go into more detail there. But instead of adding anecdotes, really try to add metrics wherever and whenever you can. Number 3 is the mission. So what's the mission for your solution? The 3 questions that we suggest you ask yourself is, number 1, how will the world be better because of your solution? Number 2, what goals do you want to achieve in your solution? And number 3, what is your why in your just cause? Now, as an entrepreneur, and especially when you're a social entrepreneur, you're not only thinking about making profit, you're thinking about helping people, and you're thinking about helping the planet. So I really make the distinction between your why and your just cause here, because your why is the reason why you get up in the morning. It may be individual, it may be your own individual passion, and it may be, what brings you energy every day. But your just cause, that's the unifying factor. Your just cause, this definition is from a book called The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek. I highly recommend everyone here on this call read this book. But basically, your just cause is something that's optimistic, inclusive, service-oriented, resilient, and idealistic. So that last part with idealism is very much important, because idealism is like what he characterizes as a North Star. Oftentimes, most times you will not be able to achieve that North Star. But if you keep inching in that direction, in making progress, that is what matters, and it's by starting small and keep moving on in that direction. That's super important. So I would say, keep the mission in mind, and usually that mission should be tied to your just cause. Very important as an entrepreneur. So essentially traction. So this is, transitioning into the more logical part of your presentation. So this is the evidence as to see, what have you guys been doing so far? And, how far do you have to go from here? And I think there's some people in the waiting room. Yeah, okay. Anyways, yeah, there's some people in the waiting room. Anyways. So yeah, with attraction, this is your evidence. So anywhere, depending on what stage you are in your company, there's no universal metric that exists for all companies, but pretty much just show what depicts as progress for your company, whether it's any financials, whether it's your users or customers, and whether it's your growth. If you have a month-to-month growth rate that you can share with people in your audience, anything and everything will really help your cause. So for example, I've added Impactionable's our traction that I think some of these numbers have to be updated, but this is what our traction slide is. This is an example. So as you can see, we have a job portal, we have competitions, we have video sessions. So our attractions are directly related to those. How many job seekers were connected to our job creators. Some of our partners are listed below, what our monthly revenue is and what our membership growth is. If you can show, how you're moving forward month over month, it'll be really important for your traction slide. Next part is your market size. So pretty much, especially investors want to see how big the market is so they can see how you can grow into the market over time. So there's something called TAM, SAM, and SOM. So TAM stands for the total available market. That is the total market demand for your product or service. So you're going to be thinking about your entire market here. SAM is called the serviceable available market. So that's a segment of the TAM that's targeted by your specific products and your services that are within your geographical reach. So, realistically, what segment of the population can you target through your products and that are physically located next to you? And then the last part is the serviceable obtainable market, which is the portion of the available, as in the serviceable available market that you can realistically capture. So, think about your team size, your expertise, what your resources are, how much of that SAM can you capture as a result of your own execution. The next part is the competition. So who are the other players in the market? This is where you have to show that you've done your homework, right? So the top 3 questions that we ask here are, what are the current solutions to the challenge? Why do they fall short compared to your solution? And why is your solution better? This is really important to know, especially as an entrepreneur. If you think you're being innovative, and you might be innovative. All of you are innovative. That's why you're on this call today. But just know that if you think that there are no other competitors in the market, that means that you don't have a product. You can always find someone who is doing something similar. It may not be the exact same solution, but there are other players in the market. There's this author called, his name is Adam Grant. And he really talks about, the importance of, you don't need to be the first to market with your idea. Sometimes it takes 2nd or 3rd iterations to really do the service and do it better. And you can learn from others in your field as well. So really, if you think that you don't have any other players in the market that are competitors, please continue to do the research, because I promise you 99.99% of the time they really do exist. Now, this is the team slide. So especially investors look at this slide more than anything. They want to see who are the people that are going to execute on the solution and are going to solve especially social challenges that our world is seeing. So really ask yourself, why is your team uniquely suited to solve the challenge? Is it their skills, their experience and backgrounds? Is it their passion? Is it, how they work together? Really put your best foot forward and invest in this slide. So, you're building your credibility with your stakeholders on the call. And then your asks. So as an entrepreneur, I very much suggest that you ask for help as much as possible. You can never, ever build anything alone. It takes a village. So as an entrepreneur, you're constantly asking. So really ask yourself, how can your audience support you? And if you are a finalist in this competition on Monday, please share how you will utilize the prize money if you were to win the competition. So whether you're looking for an investment, and if you are looking for an investment, please be specific for the level of investment. So let's say I'm an entrepreneur and I'm raising $100,000 and I'll give 10% equity of my company as a return on this. So really, when you're asking for investment, be specific, whether it's mentorship, hiring, marketing, whatever your 1 to 2 priorities are, don't be afraid to ask your audience about that. And now it's the closing. So this is where you're going to restate the Hair on Fire challenge that you first shared in the beginning of the presentation. And then you're going to end with a call to action in the closing. So this kind of just puts this kind of wraps it up very nicely. And I'll share more about this in the helpful tips section, but you really want your audience to act towards your mission, whether it's following you on social media, whether it's sharing what y'all are doing, whether it's connecting you with other members in their community, whatever it is, always end with a call to action. So that's the basic outline of the presentation. I have 2 more slides for tips to share with you guys. So the first slide is the design tips. So make sure that your design is clean and simple. Don't have font sizes that are less than 22. What is it? 22, whatever, 22 font size. Please do narrate when you're speaking. Don't add any paragraphs to your slides. Always use pictures and graphics over words and be consistent. Don't use, this different font style and this slide and then another font style and another. You don't want your audience to be distracted at any point of the pitch. You want them to be completely tuned in. So really be consistent when you're talking about your slides. And now I'm going to end with some helpful tips here. So number 1, think about the challenge more than your solution. Honestly, the challenge is 75% of your presentation. And your solution is your interpretation and what you'll be able to execute to solve that challenge. The solution is going to continuously evolve as an entrepreneur, and maybe the challenge will as well, but that's when you dissect the challenge more and more and more. And, investors in your audience will really think about your challenge more than anything and see how much you really know about the challenge. So they know that you're adequately adept to executing on your solution. Number 2, keep it as simple as possible. So I know as entrepreneurs, we really get caught up in the mission and sharing, oh, this is a big world problem. And there's like 15 different components to our solution. All people are going to think about in the slide is how well you pitch your story. So even if it's a snippet of your overall idea, keep the story as linear as possible. So this is the challenge, a very simple challenge that everyone says, oh, this is a big challenge we're facing. And this is point B. This is the solution that we're proposing for this particular challenge. And then as they learn about you over time, over the years, you can add more and more challenges and solutions to your plate, but keep it as simple as possible in the beginning. Facebook started as a communication tool for friends. They kept it as that, and now they have marketplaces and job postings and Facebook groups and everything. But in the beginning, you want to keep it as simple as possible. Number 3, this is the format that I was talking about when it comes to your closing. You're going to start your presentation with an emotional response. When you talk about the challenge, when you talk about the solution, the mission, those are all emotional responses. Then you start with logic. Why are you guys the right ones to execute on the idea, right? So that's when you're going to talk about your traction, your market size, the competition, the team. And then when it comes to the closing, you go back to emotions. You restate your challenge and you lead them to the call to action. Rarely do people act solely based off of logic. It's usually an emotional response to a call to action that you're calling them to. So your presentation really geared towards this format: emotions, logic, emotions. Number 4, if you don't know the answer, say you don't know the answer. One thing investors and your audience will really see is you bluffing. They can point it out from a mile away. Trust me, I've done it many times and they catch me every single time. So if you don't know the answer, just say, hey, I'm not sure about this answer. Is it okay if I jot your email down and I can talk to my team and get back to you? And make sure you do close the loop and you follow back with them so they know that, hey, you are committed to answering their question and you did your research to answer their question adequately. That shows trust. and that shows more credibility into the person and the authenticity that you bring to the conversation. Number 5, always be aware of time. With entrepreneurs, especially with this competition, we're going to give you 5 minutes to pitch. Try to stick to 4 minutes and 45 seconds to 5 minutes to complete your presentation. One thing that the audience is giving you that they're never going to get back of is time. So please be respectful of their time when you're pitching. And usually the lengthier the presentations, the more messier they are. So if you keep it clean and simple, like that point 2 suggests, then you'll always be on time. I guarantee that. And number 6, a smile goes a long way. Even if you're shaking on the inside, even if you're nervous, at the end of the day, creating a business and sustaining it is a person-to-person endeavor. So just being as kind as possible and, just showcasing your beautiful smile will really go a long way and will make a big impression on the people that you speak to. So that's my presentation. I hope that it was helpful, and I'm happy to turn on answer any questions as well. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Shivani. I'm really curious because it's only a 5-minute pitch competition. What would your time allocation be, slide to slide in general, or where would you spend the most time?
That's a really good question. So I would say that I would spend, actually, let's go slide to slide, right? I'll share my screen and I'll share stuff about the outline. 1 second. So in this outline, I would spend more time on your challenge than your solution. Your mission should be a quick snippet, less than 10 seconds here. Your traction, I would spend a good 30 seconds on at least. Your market size can be a good snippet. Just say these are TAM, SAM, SOM, and it can be a good 10 seconds here. You don't need to go into the calculations or anything. If anyone has any additional questions about how you calculated it, you can answer that during your Q&A with the judges. But yeah, the market size should be 10 seconds max. The competition, also don't want to give too much attention to your competition. So I would say less than 10 seconds here with the competition. Your team, this is where I would spend as much time on the challenge portion with your team. So this is where you're going to talk about your team's expertise, their background, what they bring to the solution. I would spend the same amount of time on the challenge with the team. Your ask can be a good 30 seconds is what I'm thinking. And then the closing is a good 5 seconds for your call to action. So as you can see, I think in total, that would take about 4.5 minutes as to what I just said. Maybe your solution will take a little bit longer, but I would definitely spend more time on your challenge than your solution.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I was running around on my keyboard typing down all those numbers, but that gives me
yeah,
better.
This will be uploaded on YouTube, so I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
fast, but yeah.
No, it's all good. Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Shivani, I'd like to know something in particular.
Yeah.
So in case of what if there's an international competition? So there's TAM, but there is not particularly SAM. So we have international competition, but not where we actually want to deploy our product. So in that case, do we still call them a competition to begin with?
Yes, you would still call it a competition. That's a good question. So basically you're asking whether or not it's like an apples to orange comparison. That's what it sounds like. You would still call it a competition whether or not they're in your geographic area. If you're an international product or if you're serving international clients, then you can talk about an international clientele, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Thanks a lot.
Great question. Oh, we have a question in the chat. If this could be reduced to 1 minute, what is the most essential? Oh, Maribel, it's good to see you, girl. Okay, so great question. For a 1 minute, hi. For a 1 minute presentation, so this is basically an elevator pitch, right? I would say, start with your challenge, pitch your solution, and then get that follow-up, what your ask is. And if your ask is just to sit down for a cup of coffee or meet that person afterwards, just get down really just challenge, solution, ask. That's it. Yeah. Wow.
Yes, I have a question. Can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. So I have my slide are more than 10, although all these things are captured in my slide. But I have other things like projected growth, success story, and some other appendices that are attached to my slide. Is it okay?
That's a great question. Yeah, so I would say, case studies, stories really go a long way. If you can tag that to your solution, that can be a great addition, right? So if you have an example that you want to share and that's within the time limits, don't go into too much detail about it because people are going to, unless it's like an emotional story that really ties into the overall story that you're sharing to your audience, just don't go into too much detail about it. You can just do a quick snippet and move on to the next page because that emotional part of the presentation, it'll run out. The patience for that will run out faster than you think, because then people will want to see, all right, what are the numbers? Who are the people in the space that are currently doing this? So they'll want to see that next part. But if you have that, you can also share it with your investors afterwards. You can add that to your index and then share it with your investors afterwards. But just really be aware of your timing.
Thanks.
Of course. Good to see you, Abdul Latif.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Also, Bora had a great question, great answer for Maribel's 1 minute pitch idea. So Bora, you want to share that?
Yeah, of course. So Maribel, when you're thinking about 1 minute pitch or anyone in general, it's focused on the 3 why, what, and where. So when you're focused on your why, it's like that opening story of a personal story of why you started your organization. So spend about like 20 to 30 seconds there. Then you focus on the what, and this is basically your idea, your solution, and that you'll spend another like 20 to 30 seconds, and you'll end it where, like where are you going? So in the last few seconds remaining, basically tell them like your big vision of what you want your organization to be. And that's still that elevator pitch, but then it's like focusing on those 3, like why, what, and where. When you break it down to there, spend 20 to 30 seconds on each one. And then I know you in your question you had about like, how do you become authentic and how do you share your authentic self? Shivani will piggyback on this, but I feel like for you to be very authentic, it's your mission really needs to radiate when you are speaking. So that opening story of why this is so personal, I think that is where you will come off authentic if you actually believe in what you are doing, that it won't come off as, oh, okay, now you're just doing another pitch and you're like practicing again, like I've done this 5,000 times, but you really enjoy it. So really focusing on that, make sure you connect something very personal why you are doing this, and keep that very short too, because like as Shivani was saying, like as entrepreneurs, you want to tell everyone the issue of why you're starting it, and so passionate, you can talk about it for days and hours, but really focus on something that really caught your attention for that 20 to 30 seconds to really compel the audience or the investors when you're pitching. And then Shivani.
100% agree. Couldn't have said it better myself, actually. Authenticity will come naturally. It will. Just don't sound too salesy and it'll come out naturally.
Maribel, did you have a question?
No, I was just saying thank you. I was just teaching pitching last night. So I was like, where were you this whole time? This was really helpful. No, it sort of reassured some of the things I had said, but also I think having this reminder, which I didn't say, of how to make into a minute with very specific, tangible, like seconds per each part, that part is a missing link there. So I appreciate that. That's something I had in a paper, one pager a couple years ago, but I lost. So gotta go through all these docs, but that's why we have you in the community. Yeah.
Thank you, Maribel.
I have another question about Monday. Who will the judges be?
Yeah, oh, sorry. I can see. So the judges are going to be, 2 are from Iron Tech. No, 1 is from Iron Tech. 2 are from Generator. 1 is from SlideBeam. So that email I sent with the SlideBeam presentation to focus on creating your profile there. The CEO of SlideBeam will actually be there to judge. So he's giving us giving all of y'all the 1 month free of using SlideBeam, and then there'll be a promotion discount after that if you want to continue using SlideBeam, but he will be there. And then 2 of our partners from Firefly and
Loafer Group.
Loafer Group, yes. Mm-hmm. So they will actually, they've already seen your presentations, but they are going to be the ones judging. So they're really all diverse, different backgrounds, but they're really excited.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
Of course.
And then there's a question in the chat. Vora, you want to answer? Can the pitch be a video recording? Who can pitch on Monday?
So the pitch can be a video recording. For Monday, it will be the finalists for our social innovation competition. So anyone, the link will be available to anyone. So you are welcome to join and watch how some of our all our finalists are on here, how they will be pitching on Monday. But yes, like a pitch can definitely be a video.
But I mean, they can, the people who are pitching have to be present during the,
yes,
like they can send in a video. Right?
Yeah, they have to be present. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. I love it. Yes, yes, they definitely have to be present. They can't just send a video, because sometimes when we send a video, we perfect it so well, and then it's easy to be like, here I am after so many tries. But it is that spot feeling, like when you're in the moment of have to pitch to the judges, and the opportunities that can come from that as well is also very endless. So we always try to be like, pitch in person, because it's nerve-wracking, but it's exciting.
I can't wait to be more involved in this next year.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I kind of disappeared, went off the map, but we have a Digital Undivided, another job I'm with, and we have entrepreneurs who are pitching also on Monday to another group. So I guess Monday's the lucky day for people pitching.
It is. It is. It's a very lucky day.
Oh, can we know the other entrepreneurs pitching on Monday?
Like,
so we're just Sunny Sattva is going to be one. And then Vora, I think you have
Shiva and Sarthik are 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then Christian is the other. Christian is the other one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those are the 4. We're waiting on one more to. That's everyone who's on this group right now. Mm-hmm. Majority. Mm-hmm. Very diverse backgrounds from all 4 of y'all, but it's exciting.
Awesome. Are there any other questions, my friends? How are we feeling? How's everything? Are you guys gonna be
Y'all are excited?
I'm very excited. I'm grateful for the opportunity. It sounds like you guys have brought together an awesome panel of judges, and it'll be a fun event. I think it should be just really exciting. And I'm wondering if we have any other questions as it comes over the weekend. Can we send them to you guys?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah, please do. And then I will send everyone just another Zoom link for Monday as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Of course.
All right. Well, if there aren't any questions, we can end early. I request if everyone can turn on their cameras, we like to take a picture of everyone for our marketing and our YouTube clips and all the fun stuff there. So yes, wow, so many beautiful faces. I see you, Maria. Someone was hiding. That was smart. Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys. So stay tuned for Monday. This YouTube session will be on, or this video session will be on YouTube this weekend. So feel free to use it as a resource. And in the meantime, you know, if you have, if you're looking for a job, if you want to post jobs, if you want to participate in any more competitions, we have more coming up next year. Just check out our website and sign up on our website to be a part of our community, and you'll be notified of all of the awesome stuff that we have going on. So we really want to thank you guys for your hearts, your missions, and everything that y'all are doing. And for those of you that we will see on Monday, good luck, and we're here to support, and it's going to be awesome. So thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Okay. Good night.
Good luck to the entrepreneurs.
Lovely to meet you all. See you on Monday. Thank you.
Bye, guys.